Are you sitting with thousands of hours of B-roll content and telling yourself, I'll start posting tomorrow? Are you in your head worried about your friends and family, thinking you're cringe for choosing to be visible? Are you chasing trends instead of building influence? Welcome to the Visibility Standard, where the visionaries of today are changing the rules of their industries and letting their voice be heard. I'm your host, Jasmine, and we are setting the standard. Welcome back to the Visibility Standard. This is my first solo episode of 2026. Very exciting. To kick it off, I'm going to be talking about what it's like to feel uninspired. And I'm not talking like, oh, I think I need to pivot my business. Oh, I think I need to pivot like what I talk about on my podcast and my content. I legit was feeling so uninspired last week, and I feel like we don't give a lot of space to talk about what that's like. I think a lot of times we're offering like content strategy to feel efficient, to post more, to unplug, to disconnect, and all of that is great. And sometimes it's really helpful to just name the thing, and that's you're feeling uninspired as fuck, and you're not sure what direction to take your content, why you're feeling uninspired, especially if you're doing something that excites you. And so we're going to talk about it today. Last week, I legit felt like I don't want to post. I don't have anything to talk about. I don't have anything to talk about for my solo episode. And so with my solo episodes, I really try to take inspiration from the here and now. It also encourages me to be present, look for creativity through different mediums and externalize that. And so I think a lot of times when we get in that space, we're like, oh shit, I need to burn my business down. Don't do that. Don't delete your social media. It allowed me the space to go inward. I do not batch my short form content. The only thing I am really passionate about batching my guest episodes. It is more efficient for my guests and myself, and it allows me to continue offering consistent guest episodes. However, when it comes to my solo episodes, when it comes to my short form content, I do not batch. I think it is a great system. It is not a content strategy. And I think we've conflated the two, especially with batching. Batching is a great system. Like if you are a business owner, especially a solo business owner, and you feel like, okay, I need to be getting my business out there. I need to be marketing. Okay, yeah, like batching makes sense. And if you are committed to your creativity and you want to generate content, you will feel less inclined to batch. And as someone who has tried batching, it's exhausting. I actually felt more disconnected from my creativity when I was batching than when I don't batch, because I'm trying to pop out like 3-4 pieces of content that I want to resonate to my audience. And by the third piece of content, I look exhausted. I'm tired of talking. Batching is also a great strategy if you want to avoid why creating feels so exhausting for you. Not batching, it forced me last week to show up in the capacity that I did have. And it also forced me this week to be like, okay, Jasmine, like you have goals, you do enjoy this. What is stopping you from enjoying what you were doing? I realized I was consuming way more than I typically do, and that is also coming out of the holidays. Like I don't have a lot going on. Scroll. I realized doom scrolling is not a dopamine giving habit for me anymore. I realize I feel really uninspired, and so as someone who is using scrolling also to find potential guests, what does that mean for me? We'll figure it out. But I realized like scrolling was a huge part of it. I wasn't reading like I was typically doing, a habit that I had gotten back into. I wasn't cooking. I had also just gotten out of being pretty sick. Like that super flu that's going around, 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Stay home, wash your hands, wear a mask. I don't know. I am giving you all the recommendations, but that shit is lethal. If I was not sitting in front of a client, I was asleep. I was taking Tylenol PM, double dose, Dayquil, double dose. I was stagnant. And so I had like fluxes of energy after that, but it was really important for me to rest. And that, of course, brought on like habits that I work really hard to keep out of my day to day. So part of that is scrolling. I also really needed to clean my house. And if you are of the spiritual side, the woo-woo, then you know that cleaning like moves around a lot of stagnant energy. So I moved my couches. I opened up all the windows. It was so nice that I was able to do that. And I was also able to sage my house, and I decluttered. So I had a bag of empties because I was doing Project Pan from 2025. I thought I was going to film it. I never did. And so holding on to them still felt like really stagnant energy. So tossed those. Tossed a blanket that had like a bunch of holes because when I first got my dog, he ripped into it. Trash. I'll buy another blanket. Did my laundry. Washed the dishes, cleaned out the dishwasher. Like there was so much stagnant energy from that time period of being sick. I also recharged my altar, gave it some water, some wine. That's the drink of choice for my ancestors. So communed, prayed, sat in a space of gratitude, and took my vitamins. And let me tell you, I felt like a new person the next day. All of this happened within the span of the weekend, but recharging my altar and taking my vitamins that night before, I woke up yesterday, Sunday, ready to clean, take on the day, did my hair, and realized there were so many habits that I had taken away that spark, that support my creativity. Read a little bit, did a steam treatment on my hair. I've been listening to a lot of DJ mixes, but I've also been enjoying like the Snoopy jazz set where it's like a fireplace and Snoopy and there's just like jazz music playing. And I was sitting reading and it was so relaxing. And so being able to identify all of these things that made me really excited to start creating again was super helpful, and it trains my mind that it's not always an overhaul that needs to happen. I don't always need to rebrand. I don't always need to chuck it in the fucking bucket and move on. There are ways to reignite your creativity that aren't just about like mindset or working with somebody or trying out a new method, because now I am here on the podcast telling you about what it's like to be uninspired. And honestly, I wish there were more people that talked about what it's like to be uninspired, especially people that post consistently. Because we don't feel inspired 24/7. We don't feel inspired to post 24/7. I don't think that a lot of people do, but you're committed to your brand, your business, you're committed to yourself. Therefore, you do show up. And again, I recognize batching is a great strategy. It is a great system to show up consistently. However, it does not give you the space to explore what is blocking you from showing up. When we talk about visibility, it isn't just about getting your name out there. It isn't just about being able to be seen in every single space. Showing up authentically requires you to do the inner work. So when you are batching and giving yourself permission to avoid the creativity blocks that you are having, you're not going to tap into that full potential. You're not going to be able to generate and feel excited about creating if that is something that you want. I also think feeling uninspired can feel like a failing as a creator. Like, I definitely was like, oh man, I don't have a solo episode for Monday. I'm going off schedule and it's already the new year. I don't have a new episode. And so I really started to beat myself up a little bit. But then I was like, no, it's okay. You're not feeling inspired. That's okay. You are not a content machine. You are human. Figure out why you're not feeling inspired. Figure out what is stopping you from tapping into that part of you that wants to show up, that wants to create. And so I did it. And now I get to make this episode about feeling uninspired, because if it's not a world event, it's a personal thing. If it's not a personal thing, it's a strategy. There is always something that can inhibit us from wanting to show up. I'm a firm believer in giving yourself the space to explore what it is that stops you from showing up. And now, like more than ever, it is important to show up. It is so important to have your voice heard. It is so important to be showing up, sharing your message, sharing your offer, building community, all the things. And so giving myself the space to recognize, yeah, I don't feel inspired. I'm not interested in this right now. Gave me the inspiration to share this episode. I realized I didn't. Sometimes the most groundbreaking thing is right in front of us. The thing that we can say that can resonate with people the most is right in front of us. And that's what it was for me. This isn't going to be a super long episode, I think. I had a really chill holiday. It was very quiet. It was low stakes, which I liked. I was like, okay, chilling, watch some TV. I was also coming off of being sick. So I wasn't doing much. Was chilling. I reorganized my office, clearly. I've got my bookshelf behind me. This actually was inspired by, I love seeing creators who have their bookshelves behind them. Dear Nina, a conversation about friendship. She shifted some books around, and so that really inspired me to put my bookshelf behind me. I am really excited about this year, where we've talked about 2025 being the year of the horse. 2025 was also a karmic year for an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. I was dealing with a lot of karmic stuff last year, let me tell you. And so it's so nice to be going into this year, not looking to redo anything, not looking to really add anything new. I think this is the first year that I am coming in. I have the things in place. I have the things that I want to grow. And now it's just about simplicity and scaling those things, scaling my podcast audience, getting people connected with my offers, and growing in that capacity, being a therapist and showing up. And yeah, I think that last year was a really big year in figuring out what I wanted to do, what I wanted it to look like. I think everyone should give themselves at least some space to be curious about what it is they want to create and put out into the world. Last year was definitely a lot of trial and error. Do I enjoy posting this? Do I enjoy creating this? Is this something I want to do long term? I was able to try out and try on a bunch of different things. And so this year I'm like, no, I know what do I enjoy, what I plan to add. I don't know if I'm in the adding season right now. And as somebody who has constantly felt the need to add to feel like I am being productive. It was really nice yesterday evening to lay down and feel really happy with where I am, to feel content in how things are going and how things are evolving. A lot of times we say like we need to have gratitude for where we are in order to open the floodgates for what's to come. And it has been so nice to be in a space where there isn't this feeling of urgency. I need to change my website. I need to start building this offer. I need to start doing. It is nice to be in a space where I can be and really give my attention to the things that I want to give my attention to. So like I said, today is not going to be long-winded. I'm not going to hold you longer than I need to. I just really wanted to share what it was like to feel uninspired. And if that resonated for you, I'm glad I was able to share it. I'm glad I was able to shed light on a feeling that a lot of us probably have. And I look forward to offering you really great episodes this year. I'm so excited for my guests. Oh my goodness. I feel the momentum of this show and it's very exciting to me. It gives me so much energy. So let me know if this resonated. I always love having conversations. You can find me at Healing with Jasmine on all social networks, and I'll see you on Friday.